If you live in a van and you're not thinking about safety, then you're already behind. Because break-ins don't look like the movies, accidents don't announce themselves, and when something goes wrong, footage and preparation are the difference between being protected and being screwed. This video is the exact safety gear that I use on the road to cover my van, myself, and my dogs. If you're new here, I'm Bunny. I've been a full-time van lifer for over 12 years in all kinds of rigs. I've lived it, breathed it, and I don't sugarcoat things. What you see here is the real raw version of van life. No Instagram filters, no staged glamour shots, just the road, the risks, and how I survive and thrive out here. Now, over the years, I've learned that van life can be amazing, but it also can be unpredictable and sometimes even downright scary. Today, I'm going to walk you through the gear and the strategies that I use every single day to keep me and my van safe. Now, keep in mind, this isn't a what I bought for van life video. This is the safety gear I actually use, including the dash cam system that records while I'm driving and while I'm parked. Because living in a van means you don't have a second chance when something happens. I'm gonna show you what I use and why. Now imagine driving down a lonely highway at night or winding through a remote desert pass and something unexpected happens. A near miss, a reckless driver, or even just a mysterious sound in the back of your van. These moments can be terrifying. But what if you had a safety net? And that's where my first piece of gear comes in, the VIOFO dash cam. This little device has been my silent guardian on the road. I can't even watch the screen while I'm driving, but I know it's recording everything. Front, rear, and even inside the cab. It's capturing every detail in case something goes wrong. So this way, not only do I have evidence, but I've also got peace of mind knowing that no matter what happens, I have a record. And that alone makes me feel safer when I'm miles away from the nearest town. Sometimes I'm sleeping in public places, like a parking lot. Sometimes I leave my vehicle unattended, like when I go for a long hike or when I'm grocery shopping in the store. I want to trust that everything's still going to be there when I return to my van. Am I paranoid? Not really. Just watch this video to know that I want any and all incidences documented. And with this VIOFO dashcam system that I use now, with a front camera, an interior cab camera, and a rear weatherproof camera, I have a setup that actually makes sense for van life. Those 3 cameras make it a 3-channel system. That means it's recording what's in front of the van, what's in back of the van, and everything going on inside, all at the same time, which is huge if you travel with dogs, if you leave gear inside, or you just want to have visibility while you're parked. This system supports a safe parking mode. It can record impacts if someone slams their car door into your vehicle, leaves a scratch, or if a cart goes flying from a windy day in a parking lot. It will start a time-lapse footage even when the engine is off, as long as it's properly powered. You can hardwire it to your engine battery, meaning you can record while the engine is off. And if you don't want to do that, you can still plug it into your 12-volt cigarette lighter, or you can do what I'm planning to do with mine and hardwire it to my existing 12-volt solar battery setup. Stay tuned because I'm going to be showing that in an upcoming video. By the way, whether you're new to van life or you're looking to upgrade your existing nomadic lifestyle, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to keep up to date on all the budget-friendly upgrades I've been making to my van. These upgrades make this van seem bougie, but still leave me with plenty of gas money in my wallet. And don't forget to turn that notifications button on so I don't get buried in the algorithmic chaos. The good news is installation for this dashcam is very straightforward, especially if you're just going to plug it into your cigarette lighter. And if you're going to wire it to a lithium 12-volt system, make sure you know your van's setup. Don't worry, I'm going to show you what that looks like in a future video. This is best for people who want a real safety system, but it can also work for those who just want to slap a dash cam on the windshield. I will say that this dash cam has earned a place in my van build, hands down. The next thing I want to talk about is this Pelsee jump starter and air compressor kit. Yes, I've talked about it before and I will talk about it again. This little device takes up barely any room in your van build and is an absolute must for keeping you on the road and safe. I've been in the desert where I wasn't able to let air out of my tires because I didn't have a way of blowing them back up. When you're in the sand, you want to be able to lower your pressure so you can get out if you get stuck in it. This has been a lifesaver for me. And the jump starter alone, I can't tell you how many times I've used it on my truck truck, which I keep in storage. The battery's always dying. These tools can save you hours or even days of panic and waiting for help. Which brings me to my next point. You're gonna need AAA or some other form of roadside assistance. Because even with all this gear, you might need a backup. So what do I have for roadside assistance? My insurance does have a roadside assistance plan. Sometimes they have a cap on miles or how much money you've spent for a tow. And if I've capped out on one, I always have a backup. I do use AAA as a backup. I always suggest having two. You don't need to if you live in a house, but when you're on the road, especially traveling solo as a female, I highly suggest getting yourself two forms of roadside assistance. That being said, I am not a fan of AAA. I can tell you nightmare stories where they left me stranded in the woods with no service for 4 days and 4 nights. And speaking of nights, you're going to need some kind of lighting. Whether it's a rechargeable flashlight or a headlamp, you're going to need a way to see in the dark because it's Murphy's Law that things are going to happen when you cannot see things. It's the most frustrating time. You're in a place where there's no natural light or no street lamps. This one goes across my forehead like this. And it's got a huge bar of LED lights that are super bright. I can dim it, and it also has a light over here, and it turns red as well. There's the red. You can't really see it, but it is red. It's also motion powered. I can go like this and it will turn on. It is USB rechargeable. The next one, these are really great. You can get them at Lowe's or Home Depot. There's 3 different brightnesses. They usually have magnets on the back. There's a bunch of different brands, but I will leave this in the caption. It also has this hook so you can hang it up. And there's also magnets on the bottom so you can stick it like this, or like this, or like this. I've used these for 2 or 3 years now and they're still going strong. They're also USB rechargeable. This is very dirty. You can see how old it is. They also have room for a little hook there if you wanted to tie something to it like a zip tie. But how are you gonna charge those lights? That air compressor, the jump starter kit, that's where a power station comes in. This is one of the most important things in your van is to have some sort of electricity available to you for your phone, for your lights, because you're going to be primarily off-grid in a van. I already have lithium iron phosphate solar bank setup, but that's a whole nother system that really isn't an essential to keeping you safe. That is a bougie side of van life, and there are so many cheaper options that are literally just plug and play that you can get as a primary and as a backup for your van, and we're going to talk about that now. I have 2 different power stations. I have an Aferiy 2400 and a Grecell H2400, but in case that Grecell loses power or I'm in a snow day or in a lot of rain and I don't have any sun to recharge, I do have a backup Aferiy for exactly that. Let's talk about it. These 2 power stations are not just luxury items, they are lifelines. I also have the Aferiy 400 watt portable fold-out panel, which I absolutely love. It can power either of my power stations all the way to 100% within a matter of hours in full sun. That to me is priceless and invaluable, and I will always keep one of these things in my van. My next point brings me to hand warmers. These will keep you safe. Say your heat goes out in your van, or you run out of gas and you're stuck in the middle of nowhere with no heat. A friend who survived in a tent with only HotHands as a source of heat all winter in Colorado, and he's still alive to tell the tale. They will run you about $7 to $10 for a 10-pack. You can also get the bigger version, which are body warmers. They also have toe warmers, which are adhesive and stick to the bottom of your sock, and they also have foot warmers that will fit in your boots that are the shape of your foot sole. They just use activated charcoal. They're not really toxic. You can dispose of them when you're done with them. If you're in the midst of using one and you still have a few hours left to use it and you don't have a need for it, you can tuck it in an airtight container like a Tupperware container or a plastic bag that's Ziploc. It will cool down, and then when you expose it to air again, it will warm back up for a second use. They also make hand warmers that are electric and you can recharge them by USB. And the bonus of that is that you're not creating more trash because it's rechargeable. I know this one's going to seem obvious, but you're going to need emergency food and water, not just for you, but for your dogs and for your vehicle. Whether that means a stash of beef jerky or some protein bars, a bag of granola, even something like Oreos can be a great source of fuel when you're stuck somewhere you're not sure where your next meal is coming from. A little bag of treats for your dog, even some extra water. I always carry an extra gallon for each of the people or beings in my vehicle. For my dogs, one for my engine, and one for me. You're just gonna need a first aid kit. You can pick these up already made for you, acetaminophen, some ibuprofen, maybe some Band-Aids, and an ACE bandage. Carry alcohol in your van with you. I also have some second skin in here in case my dog gets a cut, and some activated charcoal tablets in case you eat something or they eat something that doesn't agree with you. I know. You're thinking, Bunny, these are going to be so heavy. Why would I ever want to bring a bunch of books in the van? Unless you have books that are downloaded onto your phone that you can access without being online, there will be times where you don't have service and you're going to need them. I suggest getting a few essential books to keep on board at all times. It's a Boy Scout handbook. This is going to give you everything you need to stay safe as far as first aid, making emergency shelter, and even repairing things that have broken. I picked this up at a thrift store for about $2. 9 times out of 10, there's an answer in this book. It's a Bible. This one, Peterson Field Guide to Medicinal Plants and Herbs. I love this book. I have 2 different versions. This one is of Eastern and Central North America, and the other one is Western North America. They cover all the plants and everything that you could possibly imagine in case you need to forage or you're not feeling great, but you've got yarrow growing outside of your van. You can use that as a form of medicine. Just make sure that you're cross-referencing between multiple books, like this one or this one. I know they're heavy. For me, they're worth it. The next one, I'm not sure how much I can show. A survival knife. Something like this one that folds up is perfect. It can be your multi-tool. It can be your cooking tool. You can eat with it. You can even dig a cat hole with it if need be. A ratchet set, a wrench, Phillips head, and a flathead screwdriver will take you places you never knew you could go. For those of you with pets, the safety isn't just about you. It's about them too. So remember, you want to keep all your dog's paperwork organized and have digital copies on your phone if you can, or at least in your email. So even if you lose your phone, you get a new phone, you can retrieve all that information in your emails. That means vaccinations, even service dog certificates if you have them. I always have an extra leash because sometimes they get left somewhere. One of my dogs likes to chew through them, so an extra leash is important too. And because we travel so far and so wide, it's always good to have something like Canine Advantix or some kind of flea and tick control to prevent infestation in your van before it happens. Trust me, I've had similar situations. It was not fun. We did have to bomb the vehicle and live in a hotel for a few days while it aired out. Prevention is really the best medicine. So yeah, van life is a lifestyle, but it's more than that too. Van life is also a series of decisions that keeps you alive and keeps you thriving. Each piece of gear and every precaution I take adds up to real safety and real peace of mind. Knowing that I have these layers of protection lets me slow down and enjoy the freedom of life on the road without being in constant fear. And beyond that, it gives me the ability to keep going when things do get tough. And they will out here on the road without fail. And if you're prepared for it, it's not going to be as traumatic to go through. All the influencers that are bougie online have made it romantic and magical, but it is not an easy life. And the truth is that the only way to really enjoy it is to fully prepare for the what ifs while just hoping for the best. If you're ready to dive deeper into van life and living full time on the road, check out my Patreon and the podcast, The Knock, Waking Up Van Life. There are real life stories, there's interviews with other nomads, there's alternative safe parking, and how to make money on the road. And if you want to be a guest on the show, my email is always in the caption. And for those starting van life, or maybe you're already on the road and you're feeling stuck, reach out for a one-on-one consultation via my email in the caption. Do offer sliding scale for those of you with a financial hardship, because I know what it's like to get started, and a lot of people I find are getting into this life because they don't have another choice. And I want to make this information accessible to everyone because I've been there too. I'd rather see you safe, thriving, and keeping this amazing community alive. So thanks for joining me on this journey. Stay safe, stay prepared, and keep the adventure alive.